Hello, hello. Welcome to day 2 of the sleep challenge. I was so glad to see that so many of you were able to send me your action plans for changing your sleep environment and making some small changes to your sleep routine. Hopefully that's the first step to getting you guys some better sleep at night. And today we're going to go into what we can do to relax and decrease the stress that impacts so many of our sleep. So if you're having difficulty falling asleep, the one thing you shouldn't do is focus on falling asleep. You should focus on relaxing. Focusing on falling asleep will probably keep you from being able to sleep, get to sleep at all. So the focus should be on just relaxing, and then you just naturally will have a better chance of falling to sleep. So today we're going to talk about some of the biggest issues that people have when it comes to being able to sleep, and that is stress, problems relaxing, and having that racing mind when you're going to sleep or when you wake up. We're really going to need to think about the two states of your nervous system. There's the parasympathetic state and there's a sympathetic state. Now this parasympathetic state is the state you want to be in when you're trying to go to sleep. That's the state when you're able to relax. That's the state where your body functions best. What you're trying to avoid is that sympathetic state, which is that fight or flight state. We were not meant to be in this state for long periods of time. The fight or flight state is a survival state. If you're being chased by a lion, then you really need your body to optimally function in that sympathetic state to divert all the energy in your body to your limbs to be able to run away from that lion. So being in that state for long periods of time causes your body all kinds of issues. The parasympathetic state is the state when your body processes everything properly. That's your best state for digestion. Your body functions properly. The sympathetic state is not a long-term state, but so many people today live in that sympathetic state far too long, and that creates all kind of chronic issues, and one of the things that it really impacts is your sleep. Now when you're trying to relax and fall asleep, don't do things like stew in bed thinking about all kinds of different things. Don't look at the clock thinking about how much longer you have until you have to wake up. And if you're in bed for more than 20 minutes or so and you're not relaxing enough to fall asleep, get up and do something else. Because like I said at the beginning, if you focus on trying to fall asleep and not just relaxing, you're going to have difficulty falling asleep. Now there are pretty much 4 key things that you want to do to help relax and get to sleep. You need to have a quiet environment. You may want to try some music or white noise like we talked about yesterday. And you want to focus your attention on something specific, like a word, a phrase, an image, maybe even a breathing pattern. You want something that's going to distract you from other concerns and things about your day. The third thing you want to do is have a passive attitude. That meaning it's okay if the mind wanders, but you really want to remain at ease, and you just want to easily move focus back to your attention to something simple, like the word or the phrase that I mentioned a minute ago. But that's just to have that relaxed attitude and not to beat yourself up about thoughts, but just if your mind wanders, it's okay. Just slowly bring it back to something else. And the other thing you want to make sure is you have a comfortable position. Making sure if you're sitting up, just trying to relax first, or if you're laying down in bed, that you are comfortable. And as I mentioned before, don't stew in bed. If you're not asleep after 20 minutes, try doing something else, and don't focus on the clock. Okay, so now I want to talk a little bit about some techniques to help you relax. One thing that many people find very effective are different types of breathing techniques. There are all different types of deep breathing, and I'll just talk about just a couple of them that I personally find effective. One is called box breathing. A lot of people use a 4-4-4-4 breathing technique. That means you inhale for 4 counts, hold for 4 counts, exhale for 4 counts, then hold for 4 counts. And you inhale through your nose and you exhale through your mouth. And this technique I found very effective. It pretty much tells your body to relax. It tells your body you're not in that fight or flight state, because if you're in that fight or flight state, you would not be able to breathe this way. So I find this very effective. Another popular breathing technique is Andrew Weil has a breathing technique. It's called the 4-7-8 technique. You inhale for 4, you hold for 7, and then you a long deep exhale for 8. So those are just a couple of different types, but you can probably find many other breathing techniques if you looked. I know several others. You can always email me if you want to try some other breathing techniques. I personally like box breathing. A strange story about box breathing is I find when I go for walks or try to exercise heavily, if I start to run out of air and get really tired, if I start box breathing, I can do more exercise. I don't know if that's a physiological thing, but I do know box breathing also helps me. If I'm doing anything, I'm getting tired, I try box breathing, I can go a little bit longer. But it definitely helps me when I need to relax, and I often use that as the first part in any type of meditation I try. The other thing you might want to do is change your focus. Changing your focus is thinking about something different. There is a technique, it's called the 100 posters technique. It's similar to someone might say counting sheep, but it really focuses your attention on something else. The 100 posters technique is you envision yourself walking up to a poster with the number 100 on it. You envision taking that poster off the wall, turning around, throwing that poster on the floor. Then you turn back around and you walk up to poster number 99, pick it up off the wall, turn around, put it on the floor. And if you do this when you're in a relaxed state trying to go to sleep, many people find it effective, and most people don't get very far if they're really trying to relax and really focusing on this. So it's a good way to change your focus. Another options are meditation is another option, which I'm going to talk a little bit more in just a minute. And then essential oils. Essential oils are very useful. I personally love essential oils to the point where I wanted to study everything I could about them, and I studied actually to be an aromatherapist. So I really, really love essential oils. So just 2 oils, well, 3 oils I would recommend. A lot of people like lavender oils. Chamomile oil is also really popular. There's also an oil called Melanie, and I have found that oil has a little bit of a different scent, but it's very, very effective. But any oils, try and see if you like the scent of that oil, if you can tolerate the scent of the oil. Everyone doesn't like oils the same way. For instance, most people absolutely love lavender oil. I cannot stand the way lavender oil smells, so I just avoid that as an oil I typically use. But there are many types of oils you can use. You can put several drops in a diffuser. You can put some on even like a cotton ball, say in a box next to your bed. Inhale the lavender, maybe 10 deep breaths before you go to bed. There are different ways you can try to use the oils to inhale them, before you go to sleep. But if anyone has any questions about oils or trying different types of oils, please email me. It's a pretty big topic, and it's hard to go over that real quickly. But those are just 3 oils I would recommend. The other thing you might want to do is there are apps. So like an app called the Calm app is something that's great if you want to listen to soft music, natural sounds, do a guided meditation. It's a great app for that, and I've used that app many times at night to try to fall asleep. There's also an app called Headspace. I've never actually used that app, but I've heard it's pretty useful. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit more about meditation, because meditation is something that some people just don't understand. But it is something that's used by people all over the world in all different forms. It's been used by people that have achieved great things in different parts, like business leaders such as Steve Jobs, Arianna Huffington, and athletes such as LeBron James, Steph Curry, and any celebrities from Katy Perry to Oprah Winfrey. There's a long, long list of people that use meditation every day and won't go a day without using meditation. Meditation has benefits beyond sleep. People find that meditation is grounding, relaxing, changes the direction of your day, also helps with your immunity, helps reduce pain, and also helps give you clarity of thought throughout the day. And if you research it, there are like many, many more things that meditation can help with. But if you give it the chance, meditation and or a mindfulness practice is something that's really beneficial. And if you try it, it'll probably be something that you'll want to incorporate as part of something you do every day. Now, there are several different techniques that people can try for meditation before they go to sleep, or for that part, any other part of the day. But one technique is called a body scan technique. And this technique is pretty much, you take deep breaths and you notice the sensations in each part of your body. So you kind of scan your body, notice the sensations in your face, notice any sensations in your arms. Maybe you notice the weight of a blanket or air flowing, or just knowing the different sensations in your body, and that helps you create a sense of mindfulness. Another technique that many people have heard about is called progressive muscle relaxation, and that's basically you tense different parts of your body really tight and then let go. So like tense your face really tight for 10 seconds and then let go. Tense your fists really hard and then let go. Tense your arms really hard for 10 seconds and then let go. And then you do that for each part of your body. Another technique is an imagery technique. And this is when you say imagery, it's just your own image. So think of a very peaceful image from your past that was very relaxing. And then while breathing, slowly think of as many details of that image that you can. And then slowly add the senses. If you can remember what something smelled like, the sounds you heard. This is a great technique if someone is a very visual thinker. There's also guided imagery, and guided imagery is something that you can also often get from a recording. So I think I mentioned before, the Calm app is great, and it has lots of different guided imagery and different types of relaxation techniques and meditation using guided imagery. A lot of people that start with meditation will start with guided imagery to kind of have something that kind of guides them on what to do next. Another type of meditation is a focus on a sound or an object. And this maybe some people think is more traditional meditation. So basically what you want to do is focus on an object or a phrase or a sound. A lot of people use a sound, and you kind of hear that in meditation. You don't have to speak the sound. You just kind of can think of the sound is another way to do it. And as thoughts come and go, you just gently bring them back to that sound. So, for instance, I use the sound rose because I also want to have an image. So I use rose. So as I'm relaxing, I'll just think of the picture of a rose and think of the sound rose. And as different thoughts come in and my mind starts to wander, I just gently say, bring it back to the focus of a rose, or the word rose. And that's just to kind of ground you. It kind of slows down your thoughts and kind of slows things down. And I do that for about 15 minutes. And there are all different words people can use. Some people will speak a sound, like a vowel sound, and that's more traditional type of meditation. But I just think of a rose and think of the word rose, and kind of slowly bring myself back to that as my mind starts to wander. Some people think they can't do meditation because their minds wander all over the place. Like they start thinking of, oh, there's that sound and all different types of things. But that's actually kind of what happens during meditation. There's no wrong way to do it. You just kind of want to hear those thoughts come up, kind of focus them back, let them go away, and that's kind of meditation. It sounds kind of strange, but when you can actually slow your mind down and kind of just listen, see your thoughts, that puts your body in a very relaxed state as you kind of calm down and do that for a period of time. There are some people that even do a walking meditation, and you find a relaxing effect after about 15 minutes. Maybe some people have experienced this if they're just walking on the beach and they're just listening to the sounds of the waves, and they're not really thinking about a whole lot else, but they're really noticing the feel of the sand on their feet or the sound of the waves. That would be a type of a walking meditation. I actually start a meditation with mindfulness practice, which is more of a listening to your different senses. So I'll start with take deep breaths and what do I hear, then what do I smell, what do I feel, and be very in tune to what's happening right now. Then I'll do a meditation with the rose for a little bit, and then at the end of the meditation, I kind of do a little bit thoughts on gratitude. And for me, it's about 15 total minutes, and I do it once or twice a day, and that has had a great impact on my ability to relax and stay grounded. Now, some people might be thinking, how can I use any of these techniques for my children or a baby? And maybe you can't use all of these techniques, but some of them you definitely can use. For a baby, you definitely want to make sure that you are providing them with calm music or a noise machine and creating a calm environment before they go to sleep. So that's part of making sure the baby's relaxed. Like we talked yesterday, dim the lights, play soft music, put on a noise machine, so that the baby can start to relax. Now, slightly older children, it's the same thing. You would just want to create an environment where they're calm and relaxed before they go to sleep. Even for children probably 2 to 3 and up, you can actually try deep breathing with them to get them to relax. Something I've done with younger children is take in deep breath in and smell those delicious warm baked chocolate chip cookies, and then exhale out and act like you're blowing out candles on a birthday cake. So you can do different things to get your children in a more relaxed state, and you're using some similar techniques. There are people who will also use essential oils with children in their room for relaxation. I think that's a wonderful practice, but you have to be very careful and know what you're doing and only use a very small amount. If you're using a diffuser, you might want to only try like 1 or 2 drops in a diffuser in a room for a small child, and you'd want to also be very careful with the types of oils that you would use. So if there's any questions and anyone wants to try using any essential oils with young children, I would get the advice of someone who knows about oils. If you would like to email me about what oils to use and how to use them, I'd be happy to give you more information. But as far as creating a relaxing, stressful environment for babies and young children, just use very simple methods and just calm them into a more relaxed state before they go to sleep. Now for today, I want you to pick one action that you can use as a habit that you can use every day to try to relax. You can pick more than one, but I want you to at least pick one habit to try to relax each day. So whether you pick up breathing techniques, you try mindfulness, meditation, use essential oils, try an app like the Calm app, or try to focus your thoughts like the 100 posters examples I gave you, Just pick one thing to try to relax during the day, and you can also use some of these techniques right before you go to bed. So email me, let me know what habit you've picked so I can see what people seem to like the most. And if you want to pick more than one, feel free. But again, if you have any questions about any of these techniques and need more information, please email me.